Fish and Chums!
Hi everybody, Gary Heydrich here for this week's fishing report on Fishin' Chums with my old buddy Tuffy. We're out here at the old fishing shack. I'm taping the show on Wednesday. It's going to be December 13th. It is December 13th. Boy, it's been beautiful today out on Table Rock. A little windy. I like the wind though. Water temperature this morning was 55 degrees, so that water temperature is steadily dropping, and that means better fishing just around the corner. Boy, these fish are starting to react to crawdad baits, your rock crawlers, your wiggleworts, and we'll talk about this on today's program. We're going to cover about 5 lakes, so I better get going, Tuffy. How about that? Okay, let's go out of Stockton right now. Stockton's been pretty good this week for you old boys that know where those brush piles are. And they've been picking up fish anywhere from 15, 18, 20, 22 feet of water. And if you know where those brush piles, just get over there and vertically fish. I tell you what, chartreuse has been a good color this week, maybe with a red head or orange head. And 16th ounce if you can get by with it. If it's windy, you may want to go to the 8th ounce. Sometimes they're real fussy out there, like they can be. You may want to go to a minnow or a jigging minnow. So still some nice limits of crappie being caught in the winter pattern out at Stockton. Let's go to Truman Lake. My gosh, there's been some nice fish caught out there again the last few days. Look at my buddy Jason here. Look at the limit of fish he had just a couple days ago. He was catching these on a pink and white slab buster jig. Boy, they're great jigs. So you may want to check this out. Pink and white's a good color out at Truman right now. And so crappie fishing are definitely, as I've been mentioning the last few weeks, on a winter pattern. They're going to the bluffs. You may want to swim jigs down around 15, 20, 25 feet of water, especially if you can find some brush around these bluffs. The bluff points, you're going to catch fish. Some nice crappie being caught at Truman. I'd recommend it this upcoming weekend, that's for sure. You know, Truman is also producing some white bass and hybrid fishing at times. You find a good windy point down at the lower end, around the islands and so forth. You might be able to get yourself into some white bass and hybrids, I should say. Okay, catfishing is what I wanted to mention. Boy, Truman's one of the best white and blue cat lakes in the country, I think. Golly, there's been some good fish caught out there lately, but I came across some photos of Doug Keller. And he was been fishing Truman. He's a great cat fisherman out there. And they're catching fish right now on shad or cut shad. And look at this big hog that he has on. He caught this big fish. I don't know how much it weighs. It's a monster. But he put it back in the water, he said, so that thing's swimming out there waiting for you. So good cat fishing along with great crappie fishing at Truman. Lake the Ozarks still, boy, I mean, for the last several weeks, I'm sounding like a broken record, but they're still catching good crappie out there and really nice sized fish. They're fishing the bank, especially a little bit of brushy banks, 4 to 6 to 8, 10, 12 feet of water. They're swimming jigs. They're also using minnows. Really nice fish. And the same things the last several weeks. They're still catching crappie at Lake the Ozarks off the big condo docks and their smaller docks with a little bit of structure. Great crappie fishing at Lake the Ozark. The lake, you might want to get out there this weekend. I know you can catch some fish out there for sure. Bass fishing's picked up. They've been using some variety of different baits for bass. Jig and pig's been working on the windy days, slow rolling spinner baits, and jerk baits. Woo, don't want to say that. Jerk baits are producing some fish out at the lake the last few days. Let's go over to Bull Shoals. Jig and pig on the bluffs have been a big thing. They're catching fish on jig and pig, some smallmouth, and they're also throwing some jerk baits, and on the windy points, rock crawlers and wiggleworts. And if you're having a hard time finding them during the day, get your electronics out there and go off those long runs and do some drop shotting. But boy, get back in the main creek arms at Bull Shoals. Use your electronics, find your big balls of shad. Get down there with a couple different baits, either a slab spoon, a white's been a good color, also grubs. So check out the deep water fishing is starting to develop back in the big arms of Bull Shoals. By the way, they can be shallower back in the creek arms as well, especially the windy points and secondary points with your rock crawlers and your wiggleworts, and they've been slow rolling spinner baits as well. Okay, let's go to Lake Taneycomo right quick. Taneycomo's been producing some fishing. I'll tell you what's happening right now. The Corps has been running water just about every morning. So when they have a current coming down through Taneycomo, it's always better fishing. So if you're going out there this weekend, who knows what the Corps are going to do with the water. But if you can get out there in the morning hours, the next few days might be better. And the same baits have been producing. That pink Berkeley trout worm, that pink power worm has been working, and they've been picking up some fish on power eggs, and it seems like your white combination now, the white pink or white orange, has been working good. So you may want to try some trout fishing at Lake Taneycomo this weekend. Same areas anywhere from Cooper Creek all the way down to Monkey Island, and then on down towards the landing. And don't be afraid to go past the landing and get back, that river arm turns back towards Rockaway Beach. Been some nice fish caught in that area as well. Out here at Table Rock, my gosh, bring the whole tackle box, boys, because there's just a variety of baits that are producing fish right now. You can catch them deep, anywhere 35, 45, 55 feet of water. You can catch them shallow. And so this is what you need to do. In the morning hours, get that rock crawler out, that wigglewort, in the crawdad pattern, like right here. This is my favorite one. And you get up on the points and secondary points. And then get back in the creek arms at times when the wind's blowing. At times, slow rolling spinner baits have been working. And they've been picking up some fish also out on the bluffs, jig and pig. They've been picking up some fish on jerk baits. Check this out. But back in the creek arms, use your electronics, get back in there, find those big schools of shad. Use your slab spoons and the white, just like bull shoals. You don't be afraid to pick up that grub. I like that gray with red specks. About a 1/4 ounce jig head. And so check out Table Rock this weekend, that's for sure. Hey, by the way, I've had some pretty good reports of some crappie being caught. They're starting, of course, getting the winter pattern up around the Cape Fear area. Check out your brush piles and some around the docks as well. You might be able to pick up some good old crappie this weekend out at Table Rock. How about that? Am I missing anything, Tuffy? We had a good day out on top Table Rock today. Like I said, the wind's been blowing. I like that wind. Boy, you get a windy bank, don't overlook those rock crawlers, wiggleworts, spinner baits. Mix it up. You're going to catch fish. All right, we want to thank you for being with us on the Big Little Show today. We want to thank for all of our new subscribers. For this time of the year, like I said last week, it's kind of slow, but we're gradually picking up more subscribers all the time. Tell your friends about our show. We like to cover the whole Ozarks. We love to fish for all kinds of fish. Crappie, walleye, bass, you name it. We are out there fishing for them. Be sure to like and share. And once again, tell your friends about our show. Have them subscribe. And if you have any questions or any photos, send them to at our email. Email us at fishingchums@gmail.com. Tuffy, let's go back fishing. Happy outdoors, everyone, from the old fishing shack. Talk to you next week.